Hey, it's Kate, your English teacher. Welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna learn how to use the present perfect in English. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet and click this like button below this video. I'll be happy about it. Now let's talk about the situations when we use the present perfect, so you can feel more confident using this grammar tense. And even if you think that you know well how and when to use it, this lesson will help you refresh your memory. Let's get started. The present perfect tense is one of the most confusing grammar tenses because many students don't have the same tense in their native language. In Russian, for example, it's a great problem to understand English perfect tenses because we don't have the difference between I did and I have done. So English perfect tenses drive us crazy. And it's tricky to figure out why we use the present perfect tense to talk about the past. So we use this tense to talk about events that happened in the past, but we don't know when, and the time doesn't matter. And there is one important thing about the present perfect: we use it when we are talking about past actions that are relevant to the present. But before we move on to the basic uses of the present perfect, let's focus on how we form this tense. The present perfect is formed with the verb have or has, which depends on the subject. I have, you have, he, she, it has, we have, they have. And the main verb, the past participle. To form the past participle of regular verbs, we add ed to the base form of the verb. Work, worked, worked. Play, played, played. But in English, there are a lot of irregular verbs. Those verbs do not follow any rules. English learners find them hard to memorize. I think we all learned many irregular verbs at school: catch, caught, caught, build, built, built. So to form the present perfect tense, we use the subject have or has plus the past participle. Let's look at the examples. I have played a new video game. He has built a new house. The negative: I have not played a new video game. He has not built a new house. And the question form: have I played a new video game? Has he built a new house? Now we're gonna focus on the situations when we use the present perfect tense. First of all, we use the present perfect to talk about something that started in the past and go on to the present. Something that has a connection with the present. I've studied English for 5 years. I began to study English 5 years ago and I'm still studying. I've worked for the company since 2009. That meant it started in 2009 and it is true today. For and since are keywords. They show us that we need to use the present perfect form.
It's been a long time since you were this close.
He's been a waiter for 3 years since he left Penn State and had to get work.
The second situation, we use the present perfect to talk about past actions that have been completed recently. We use this tense with adverbs of time, just and already. I have just seen a rainbow. Just means that something happened some time ago, maybe some minutes or some hours ago, something that has happened recently. I've done my homework already. That means I've completed my homework. It happened in the past and we don't know when, but it already happened.
Look, I already told you guys, I'm not going to give you a ride.
Now let's move on to another situation when we use the present perfect. We use the present perfect to talk about finished actions that have a result in the present. I've lost my watch. The action happened in the past and it's finished, but it has a result in the present. I've lost my watch. Right now, I still don't have my watch. It's lost. That is the result. The next situation, we use the present perfect when we are talking about our experience up to the present. I've studied in Spain. I've seen that movie before. We don't say when exactly the experience happened, but it's finished now.
And I have seen.
I've seen the witch. city. Oh my God.
By the way, talking about your experience, you might say something like, I haven't become fluent in English yet. If you're watching this video now, you're probably not. And I recommend you to watch my video about fluency. This video is about the main practical steps to become fluent in English and how you can work to improve your language skills. I'll leave a link to this video in the description box below so you can watch after this lesson. Now let's move on to the next case. We use the present perfect to talk about places we have visited and returned. I've been to the United States. I have been in my life, but now I'm in my home country. She's been to Antalya twice. She has been, and she's returned home.
I understand you've been to prison before in the United States.
Well, I never been to camp before.
The next situation. We use the present perfect when we're talking about an action with the result in the present to mean that the person went to the place and is at the place now. Where is Mary? She's gone to the market. She's at the market now. My brother has gone to Brazil. Now he's in Brazil. They're gone to New Delhi for 3 weeks. Now they're in New Delhi.
We're going to Washington, D.C. in 12th grade.
I knew I should have gone to law school.
There is one important thing you should remember. When you speak to your friends, you can feel free to use contractions. I've been to London. I've watched this movie. But please never write contracted forms of the present perfect in academic English or business English. Use the full forms instead of contracted forms. When students write academic tests, it is required to use formal language, so you should use full forms of perfect tenses. As I said before, we use the present perfect when we talk about something that happens in the past and we don't know the exact time when it happened. So if you want to use the words ago, yesterday, last week, last year, in 2017, those words indicate that you don't need to use the present perfect. You should use the past simple instead. And the words you should definitely use for the present perfect: for, just, yet, ever, never, since, already. Well, that's it for today's lesson. Please post your comments down below using the present perfect. Feel free to ask me any questions, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to English Lessons with Kate. Thank you so much for your comments, for your support. Thank you for learning English with me, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye!